Hello and welcome to my channel, Effed Up World. Hopefully I have everything set up the way it should be. I want to address, there was a comment from Sister Christian in the chat already that says, if something is big enough, you can have level and flat surfaces along the way and it still be a sphere. Come on now. I agree with that statement. It can still be a sphere. If you have, a huge sphere and there were parts of it that were level and flat. Well, I sort of agree with that. But there's another aspect of it that's not being considered in that statement there. Water. So, the physics of the spherical Earth require the surface of water to have a uniform curvature to it. It won't be flat in some places and then more curved in other places because it's water. And it's apparently or allegedly being held to the surface of the Earth towards the center of the Earth with gravity. So what the theory there is it requires that a spherical Earth would have uniform curvature on all surfaces of water. Now the land is different. The land is going to be different because we have mountains, hills, valleys, plateaus, all these things. So it can't really be determined whether there's curvature on the land. Actually, you really can't prove either way if the land was curved or not. But the point we're going to go over today is, one thing is the indoctrination that is put forth in this world, by sending children to school. We're going to watch a kindergarten class, and we're going to watch them learning a lesson about shapes. And then we're going to talk about a really glaring misconception that people that are thinking that the Earth is spherical aren't thinking of. And it's actually a huge contradiction in their, or a conflict in their thinking. And I'll point that out. It has to do with what level means, what a horizon is. Let me put something else up on the screen here. We're gonna talk a little bit about the ocean. This is video I shot from Florida with my DJI Mavic drone. I think I was about 20 feet above the water. But this is an impossibility on a spherical Earth. And I can explain that to you too. But first I want to watch this kindergarten lesson. And it's about 9 minutes long. And so we'll listen to all the things that these children are learning about shapes, 2D, 3D, spheres, circles, curvature, flat. And the reason why we're going to watch this video is because, when we do, try to put yourself in the mind of one of these little, I don't know how old they are, 7-year-old kids. They have great understanding of the world they live in, you guys. And so what's happening in this kindergarten class is it's an honest and innocent thing that's happening. There's a young teacher, and she's teaching the children about what a sphere is and what a circle is, and these shapes, and I guess you'd call that geometry maybe, or whatever, but it's a kindergarten class. So I think we're just going to watch that, and then we'll probably have more. I actually have a couple videos after that I made a while back. I actually did, I took out my saw, my miter box and my table saw or whatever, and I made, I think it was about 8 feet wide, like a curvature of a surface. And I did some little demonstrations on it, and this will show, And then we're also going to go to YouTube and we're going to watch a Red's Rhetoric video about showing a boat going down what appears to go down the curvature, a sailboat. And that's going to point out the conflict in thinking that I'm wanting to point out. So let's watch these children learning about spheres. Oh, actually, let me go over to the chat. Anthony Dickinson, good to see you. And you too, Sister Christian. And Belle Fam, good to see you. And Fool Me Not, good to see you. I haven't seen you for a while. Hope everyone is having a good day. Okay, here we go.
Ready? All right, guys. Just like yesterday, I have a bag of surprises.
Okay.
So,
I know what it
that's okay if you can see them.
I know what it is. I can feel it.
Can somebody tell me what a circle is? What kind of sides does a circle have? Ooh, I love how you're raising your hands. Tristan, what does a circle look like?
0.
How many sides does it have? Draw with your finger what their sides look like. Ooh, I see you did a curved side, didn't you? There's no straight sides in a circle, right?
No.
Good. Show me with your pinkies in the air if you know what a sphere looks like. If you know what a sphere looks like, then put your pinky in the air. Alright, so what we are going to do, I have some things in my bag.
I know what it is.
I don't have enough for everybody, but I'm going to pass them out. And if you get an object, or if you don't get one, I need silence. Okay, so I'm going to come around and give people some objects. But don't say anything. No. I'll pick kids that are sitting on their bottoms quietly. And when you get your object, just hold it in your lap, okay? And when I'm finished passing them all out,
Ow.
then we can talk about it, okay?
Oh. We're all gonna get one?
Just kids who are sitting quietly, raising their hands. We'll have to pick the quietest. I love how quietly you're all sitting. It's making it tough for me to pick. Oh, that's really nice of you. 3 more.
Is that all?
That's okay if you did not get a shape, because
What?
you all need to help me figure out.
Dad's gonna cry.
Oh, we shouldn't be upset. The people that have our shapes, they're just the ones holding them. It's our job to figure out what they're holding.
I don't have
So,
a spot.
if you have an object, I'd like you to raise your hand. Okay, we'll start with Anna Maria. Can you hold your object up in the air? Can everybody see that? Oh, uh-oh, let's keep our objects in. There you go. What does she have?
A tennis ball.
A tennis ball. I have a question for you. Is this a 2D or 3D shape?
3D.
3D shape. So, another question. Do you think, raising your hand, this is a circle or a sphere? Oh, raising your hand. I'm glad you know the answer, though. Tristan, what do you think about it? A sphere. Do you think he's right? He is right. It's a 3D shape. It is a sphere. Very nice, bud. I'll put this in the middle. Brandon, let's see what you have. What does Brandon have?
Orange.
An orange. Is this one a 2D shape?
No.
What is it?
3D.
3D. Can somebody raise their hand and tell me what this is called? Is this a sphere or a circle, Emily? A sphere, very good. We have 2 spheres so far. Let's see, raise your hand if you have an object. Alex, you have one? Ooh, everybody take a look at Alex's.
What is that? A chip. A chip.
It is a chip. So, is this one?
No, not that kind of chip.
Will, is this one 3D or 2D? Good, because what is it?
Flat.
It's flat. You're right. So is this one a circle or a sphere? Well,
Circle.
good. So is it a circle or a sphere?
Circle.
Good. It's a circle because it is flat. Do you see my circle? And
Sorry to interrupt, but I gotta point out for the people who are, on the spherical side of things in the Bible, please pay attention to what this teacher's teaching. She is right. She's saying that circles are flat and spheres have curvature. And I'll just remind you guys of, what is it, Isaiah 40:22, I think, if I remember right. It is he that sitteth upon the circle of the earth. Yeah. So, because I know a lot of people say, oh, it says it's spherical. See right there, circle. Well, learn your shapes, okay? Because it's probably important. There's a worldwide debate going on, and I believe it's a gospel of a coming kingdom. So, back to the video.
how my sphere is different? Who has another one? Ooh, Nathan P., you have a big one, don't you? Is this one a 2D shape or a 3D shape? Thumbs up if it's a 3D. I should see everybody's thumbs. So we know that this is going to be what? A sphere or a circle? Uh-oh, who's holding that object over there? Okay, since Vladimir has it, that means he's the only one holding it, okay? Trendon, is this a circle or a sphere? Good, it's a sphere. Very nice, bud. Who else has one? There's no tricking you. Ooh, Callie. Look at what Callie has. You can sit right here. Callie has a lot of what? Of spheres. Why is this a sphere?
Because they're not flat and they're all round.
You're right, they are not flat. See, here's a flat circle, and she has a lot of spheres, doesn't she?
Can I touch
Very
it?
nice. We're going to keep them in the
Put it
middle.
around them.
Who has another shape? Oh, hands to yourself, please.
Can you put it around them?
Evan, what do you have, bud? Can you hold it up so everyone can see? He's got the whole world.
You got the whole world.
You got
the whole world.
So, is this one flat? Or is this a 3D shape? Put your...
I gotta pause it again. Do you see what's happening? And I'm not ripping on this teacher. She's just teaching what she believes to be the truth, okay? So it's not like she's some Freemason or something. There's a lot of people that go a little too far with that. But, yes, Roderick, you are correct. A circle isn't a sphere. They might look similar from certain angles, or if, but yeah. So she's holding this little spherical earth in her hand, and she's teaching them about spheres, and she's saying because it's not flat, right? Well, let me just remind, this is for the people who believe the Bible. Let me just remind you of something that Paul said in Romans, that Well, he was actually talking about, let me think how it's, the truth would be, or what was it? I don't have my Bible right on me, and I don't have it open, so I'm thinking of, it's in Romans 1. It's talking about from heaven the unrighteousness being revealed or whatever, or being exposed or whatever. I can't remember exactly how it says it, but it says they would think themselves to be wise and become fools and change the glory of the uncorruptible God into an image made like to corruptible man. So that this is what I think this is. And unfortunately, these children are just going to believe what their teacher teaches them. And then they're going to grow up to be people, and hopefully they still have an open mind to accept truth, even though they've been taught a lie their whole life. And I know a lot of people don't think it's a lie, and I'm here to tell you, stop thinking. Go do the research.
Pinkies up if you think it's a spear.
Oh God.
Spear. Oh, sorry. Oh, guys, you were doing such a good job. Good, it's a spear. Who else has one? Lily. What does Lily have?
Add and subtract.
Good. Does hers look like a 2D or a 3D shape?
3D.
Why do you say that? Can someone raise their hand and tell me? Nathan P., why do you say she has a 2D shape?
Because it's flat.
Oh, you're right, it is flat. You're right, it's flat.
Can you put the next one around?
Noah, what do you have, bud?
I can see the plate.
Oh, plate. Guys, we only have a couple more shapes. I do not want to see you talking to your neighbors. You need to keep your hands to yourself. Noah, what do you have, bud?
A circle.
A circle. Why is it a circle and not a sphere?
Because it doesn't have sides.
It doesn't have sides, or because it's...
No. It curves.
It's
flat.
It's flat.
And it's a 2D.
It is a 2D, and
It's
this
a
one is a
frisbee.
3D. You're right, bud.
It's a frisbee.
It could be a frisbee, but we're not going to throw it. Next time, come bring it to me, okay? Does anybody else have a shape? Oh, Vladimir, what do you have, bud? He has a sphere. Why is this a sphere and not a circle, buddy? Because you're right, it's not flat. Alright, is that all of our shapes? Alright, everybody find their letters. In 3.
Okay, so I know what's going through a lot of people's minds, and Shines, I see exactly what you're saying. Totally. How thick is that paper? That's a 3D shape. But I think she's trying to teach them basic, I don't know. But yeah, that's nothing in that room is 2D, really. I don't think there's really anything two-dimensional, except maybe in concept. I don't know. Anthony, that's great. Don't talk to your neighbors because they will conspire against the teacher eventually if they did. That's good. So we're going to watch another video, and I don't want to, or actually I should probably play Red's rhetoric video, or at least skim through it. Let's see here. Desktop. Okay, this is my desktop. I have it paused at the beginning, and I'll just read what it says. If you are standing on a beach and a sailboat is heading away from you, it will follow the curve of the earth. Eventually, it will follow that curve to a point where it will start to dip under your line of sight, blocked by the horizon. As the distance increases, less and less of the ship will be visible. The following video is an example of this and evidence for a round Earth. So before we play the video, I'm going to point out that Red's Rhetoric is saying here that this is an example of evidence for a round Earth. And I would have to actually agree if we were talking not actual reality, but we were talking just what we see and how we interpret it to be a certain way. So that's what he's calling evidence for a round Earth, and I'm going to prove him wrong. I'm going to prove what's his name? That goofy Bill Nye. He had a video a long time ago, and you probably all know what I'm talking about, of him talking about the curvature of the Earth and ships dipping. Actually, why don't we look that up quick? Since I have it right here, we'll go to YouTube and we will look that up, because I just want to show you guys that this is this is one of the proofs that almost everybody goes to in their mind when they think of, is the Earth flat or curved? Let's see here. We'll type in Bill Nye. Let's see, boats. This should get us the video, I think. It's an old video. The one I'm looking for. It might be this one right here. Let me just, I think it's that one, but I'm just scrolling just to make, because I hate it if I go to the wrong video. And so the science guy on momentum, I don't think curve Earth. It was an old one that he did way back in the day. I'm not going to search for it for too long. Okay, forget that idea. He did like a demonstration, of a boat going over a curved surface. So let's check out Red's. Actually, I don't know how these guys do their stuff for striking and all that, or whatever. I'm not going to even play it. I'm just going to skip through it, because the images of it will be I'll go full screen. The images will be enough for us to understand what he's saying here, or what he's showing. He's just showing a clear observation that almost anybody that's paid attention at the ocean has seen this, or something equivalent to this. So we got a sailboat there, and this line right here, he's zoomed way in, so we're not seeing very far left to right, are we? But because that's going to be very important, how far we can see left to right. So this line, I don't know how high his camera is, but let's assume that his camera is 6 feet above the water. Then this line is about 3 miles distance from him. So this sailboat is about 3 miles from him, and that's very general. But so as it's sailing away, you watch what happens. It gets kind of distorted down at the bottom, and things start kind of miraging and slowly disappears as it's sailing away. All right? So this is why I say this appears to be a boat sailing down a curved surface of water. And I don't think there's any honest person that wouldn't admit that. Because we're seeing what appears to be. Now, this is where the interpretation of it is very important, because I'm going to be proving that this is not a curve. Even though we're seeing a boat go down what appears to be curvature. But do you also notice how the sail is getting less and less visible as it's going? It's kind of it's fading away. And there, you can't really even see it. I don't even know where it is. Okay, so there's that. There's Red. Thank you, Red, for your video. Great video. I don't think I've actually even watched it. I've just seen the clips of it before. So now I'm going to play a video that I made of an actual, now it's not to scale or anything like that, but it explains that what we're seeing in this Red's Rhetoric video, it explains that this is not from water curving and that it is a visual, illusion or whatever you want to call it. That's just what we see when we look over water. I want to plug a channel, Wide Awake channel. He makes a lot of observations down in Florida. I think he's on the west side of Florida. And so he does a lot of observations of sunsets, and he's looking out over the ocean, and then and not only sunsets, but he's just been for years been analyzing exactly what we're talking about here, this curvature or what appears to be boats going down. Okay, I agree with Bell Fam in the chat, says water don't curve, and I'll prove this. I'll prove this. So this is where one of the reasons why I played that kindergarten class. If you just think about, yes, exactly, Shines. That's the point I'm making, is the paper towel memes. The very first comment in this chat was something about, certain areas could be flat and round or whatever if it was a really big world or something and it could be a sphere. Sure. But that doesn't say anything about water. And the water is where we need to go in order to find curvature. Because you're not going to be able to find it on land, because we have elevations, all different elevations everywhere because of valleys and hills and mountains. So, left to right. Let me pull up that video I had going of the ocean. Okay, now the video that's playing now is my DJI, and this is actually in Florida too. We're looking out at the horizon, and it's a straight line. And you can test this out with a level or like a straight edge. And you can look all the way to the left. So let's say let's fly in my drone right now. We're flying in the drone. We're just hovering here. And we're right above the beach, okay? And if we look to the right, we can see, well, if we look at the Red's Rhetoric video, it appears that at about 3 miles away, there begins to be some kind of curvature, right? Or that's what it appears like. Boats start disappearing from the bottom side up about 3 miles away. So left to right, that would be about 6 miles, right? 6 miles. So what is the curvature going to look like if a boat's disappearing? So let's just, I'm trying to get it in the right words here. I'm not good at this. Let's say on the screen right now, actually I can maybe even do that. I'm going to do that. Let's have some fun with CGI, and we can, because I'm having a hard time showing it. Before I play the video where I did like a demonstration of it, let's see here, image overlay. I'm gonna just find a little boat. I'm sure I got a boat somewhere. I probably don't need to, but I could do a car. We could do a boat car. I'm just kidding. I'll find a boat here. I know I have one somewhere. We're gonna actually need to get it twice too. Where's my boat? I'm always in the background looking for things. Sorry, guys. But this is a thing that, this is where the indoctrination is getting people. Because if I explain this to you and you think about it logically, there's a problem in the thinking that I used to have. I mean, I used to think that, I used to not think about it, guys. So when I say, hey, there's a boat, a sailboat even. Nice. Let's check out this sailboat. All right, how's that? We got a sailboat. All right, I'll make it a little smaller. Okay. So we got a boat here, but this is just looking straight forward. Right? And let me grab another one, or maybe the same one. I don't think I have two boats, guys. I might, but I'm not gonna look. If I happen to, if I happen to find one, sure. Let's see. Where did that boat go? There it is. I'll just use the same boat. Oh no, there's oh sweet, I got another boat. Nice. We got a fella here rowing in the boat here. Okay. So there we are. Two boats, and they're right on the horizon. This ain't the best picture for a boat. Okay, so let's say that between these two boats, there's 6 miles. Well, Red's rhetoric, let's get this one out of the way for a second. Red's rhetoric is saying that from here to here, that this boat starts going like this. You know what I mean? If the observer was on the right, the curvature. So let me do something. I'm just going to have a little fun here. Sorry. Oh, this is perfect. This is what we needed. We didn't really even need boats. We needed some eyes. Okay. So here's our dude. Here's Red. Red's rhetoric with his camera. And he's 6 feet above the water, we're saying. I don't know if he was, but just for our example. Okay, so let's just say what I'm just pretending that the screen there, that our view is about 6 miles wide, and it's about 3 miles from us. And now we have Red's on the screen over here, and we were watching his video, and from his point of view, he saw this, right? That's what Red saw. He saw this. Okay, now we have to get our other boat involved. So we'll leave that one in the middle. That's the sailboat that Red's rhetoric recorded. Okay, now this guy, this guy here, he's another 3 miles past that boat. So, and he don't even have a sail. So it's probably gonna be hard to get him, or to see him from Red's, right? You won't see that guy. But my drone that we're riding in right now, it sees all 3 of them, guys. And it's a straight line between all 3 of them. That just debunked the curvature, the boat going over curvature. It can't happen. Let me grab a. Let me get rid of this boat. That might be confusing us. We need another boat. We need another sailboat. Where's my other sailboat? Okay. We're gonna get some more characters involved here. Okay. So we are riding in my drone. And that's where we're sitting in the drone, okay? So this is what we see. This is what we see, and we're gonna pretend that Red's rhetoric, and I'm just using him because this is his video. So let me do something here. Let me see if I can add his video into the screen. I'll bet you I can. Haha. Now I'm thinking. Okay. Whoops. I'm waiting for full screen. My computer's a little slow. Okay. So, you guys like that? Oh, let me skip back to the beginning here. Okay. There we got Red's Rhetoric's boat. We're going to put it right here. And the guy on the right... Oh, wait. Let me get a different Red's Rhetoric, too. Those eyes are good, but I think I might be able to get a bed. Whoop. Wrong button. Oh, no. I wish I had a Red's Rhetoric with a camera. Maybe I got a picture of a Red's Rhetoric with a camera. I'm just kidding, I don't. Wouldn't that be funny if I did, though? Okay, so we might have to... I don't know, I don't want to rip on Reds, but we might have to make him into a globe head. Oh, there's a lot of fun Reds Rhetorics I could do. Let's see. Okay. Alright, how about this? This will be Red's Rhetoric. Okay, here's Red. He's contemplating, why are these flat earthers thinking this stuff, okay? So he's right there. And he's looking at the boat that's in the center, right? And it's that tall. Here, let me get rid of this boat for a minute. Okay. Let's skip through his video a little bit. Let's watch his. Let's see what the boat does. Okay. Okay. Oop! It's getting lower. Okay. We're gonna copy it with our boat. Okay. So, and we're gonna go left to right, like, because if Red's looking, if he's over there looking towards the boat, then the boat's gonna be a little further away to be, you know what I mean? So I'll do that. Now let's skip a little further. Ooh, now we can only see the sails. Look at that. I have to adjust my picture accordingly. Sorry, guys. Oops, I don't know if I can do that. Oh yeah, I can. Okay, so now it's like that high. Do you guys see what? Yeah, I like that, DJ. We never see the bottom side of a cloud cut in half with the horizon. Exactly. Okay, so let's skip a little further. Oh, it's sinking down even further. Okay. From Red's point of view, this is what he's seeing, right? Let's go a little bit further. I'm trying to point this out. It looks like there's a fish jumped or something, or a bird, whatever. Okay, so see it now though, it's like faded away. Give me a second here. Do you guys get what I'm saying? Like this is something that those kindergartners would understand. They would say, yeah, it has to be uniformly curved on the water. You know, it has to be. So let's do this. We got to get rid of our boat because I'm adding a boat that's more like his. See that one? It's like not so, can't see it as well. And it's like down like that. So we watched it go like from this. If Red's is on the right, he's the little guy, the little smiley guy. From his point of view, he's about 3 miles, let's say, from the boat. As the boat starts to go, from his point of view, it looks like this, right? That's what it looks like. Okay? So now I'm going to get rid of Red's video. Alright, so now we got Red's still in the same spot. Now tell me this. This is an actual video of the ocean that I took. Okay? And so what if we took this boat and was right here? Reds wouldn't see that boat, would he? If it's 6 miles from him, or he might see the very top of the sail or something, but I'm saying he won't see the whole boat, will he? Then what's happening? because we can see reds, we can see the middle boat, and we can see the left boat. And they're all sitting on a flat surface. Yeah, but if it's a really big surface, doesn't matter how big it is. A sphere is a sphere is a sphere. So let me play this video. Let me get rid of our boats. That was fun. I should do that more often. I don't know if you guys like that. See you later, Red. Thanks for hanging. Okay, now I'm going to play a video. This is I called it a universal problem with spheres. Because there's a universal problem with spheres. Check it out. Okay, it's time for me to demonstrate a universal problem with spheres. They curve uniformly, meaning any point that you're on a sphere would be the top, and then as you look out to the distance, it should drop off, similar to what this board is doing that I made. And I did this to demonstrate something. Okay, off in the far there we have a sailboat, and then this pink styrofoam here is the same height as the mast on that sailboat. And then this is our third sailboat. It doesn't look like a sailboat, it looks like a board, but I made a little slot in there, and my iPhone actually slides right in there, just like that. And then I can slide the board. Now, the reason why I have these here is because I'll show you they have the camera height at it's close enough to the top of that styrofoam. So that other boat, obviously this boat cannot see the other boat till we sail up further, and then it starts to come up over the curvature, right? Okay? There's a reason why I want to show you that. Now here's the problem with spheres. If I measure, let me get my tape measure. From boat to boat, we have about 64 inches or so. 64 inches. So then let's take and go about the center of the two boats, and let's take our third boat and put it over here at 32 inches. Okay, and I can probably show you that. I don't know how if you'll be able to see it. Yeah, you won't be able to see it, but it's right at 32. Now, here's the problem. See the boat? See the boat? And those two boats can't see each other. I can see both those boats, they can't see each other. So, here's the problem. On a sphere, if you're equal distant from a point, like I am with these two boats, the amount of curvature that it would be the same up to that same center point where the level is right now that we're looking at, where the bubble is. So we each have 32 inches from that. They can't see each other, but I can see them both. Now, the scale on this doesn't matter, because a sphere is a sphere is a sphere is a sphere. It doesn't matter how big it is, how small it is, how big my toy boats are. It makes no difference. Obviously, the curvature of the Earth, if it were so, it would be not nearly what I have here. This is exaggerated big time. But all we have to do is, the point I'm making is that we have the idea that curvature like this is what's causing boats to disappear as they sail away. Well, that happens in a very short distance. So what I'm saying is that if I can sit right here at our 32 inches, I'm on the same alleged water that they are on, yet do you see in the center, right below the yellow level, what is the ground doing there? See that curve? See that curve? That curve doesn't exist on the Earth. And it doesn't matter the size of the sphere. What I'm saying is that boat can't see that boat because of the curvature. So let's put that as into a real world situation. If I went to the ocean and I looked all the way to my left and I see a boat off in the distance, and then all the way on my right I see another boat off in the distance. Between those boats is much more than 6 miles. And if you were on one of those boats, you might not be able to see the other boat. But I can do a point-to-point visual observation and see that that curve, let me back up, that curve doesn't ever exist. The water follows that, I'm going to probably put it on the bottom of the screen. The water follows like this, like a straight line. And these boats are covered up from each other. What it proves to me is that it's not a logical way of thinking to think that a boat's going to disappear and that you're going to be able to see that disappear, and that's actually curvature, because you would have to be able to see the curvature from this point of view, because from left to right I can see, who knows, 100 miles. And so those boats could be real far from each other and not see each other, but I can see them. And if you've ever been to the ocean, it's a straight, flat line, and you can even take a level, put it on a stand, set it up at the ocean, and you will see that it is a perfectly straight line all the way across your view, proving that we've all been fooled and the curvature of the earth is a joke. It does not exist. Otherwise, we would see it. Have a good one. All right, so that was, I tried to just, a sphere is a very specific shape. So I'm trying to just, I'm trying to break people from the indoctrination, because this is a very simple thing. I'm not trying to say that I've got some sciencey answer. I'm only saying common sense and just some observations of that flat horizon. I'll put it up on the screen again here. This observation, anybody that is actually thinking about it and not saying, but I already know it's a globe, so that's curvature, okay? If you eliminate all of your beliefs and all the things you've been taught, and you start from nothing and say, okay, what are we looking at here in this image? And I took this, my drone was about 20 feet above the water. It was right at the beach. It was at a baptism a couple years ago in Florida. And I was just looking out at the ocean. And this is what it looks like. This is what it looks like when you go and look at it. And this is just when you're looking straight forward. But if you look to the left, that line continues all the way till it meets the land. So it's basically a 180 degree straight line, if that makes any sense. It's like a circle. Your vision is like a circle, like the limit that how far you can see or something. But that line, where the water appears to meet the sky, that line is not curved. And this proves that it's not a sphere. And to go to the sailboat going over the curvature and disappearing, proving this is something we have to be careful with. Yes, that's what our beliefs, or that's what we were all taught. Okay, we understand that, but we're pointing something out here that's very simple. It's just a simple observation. Now, I did another experiment, or not an experiment, but I just almost a mental exercise. But I used my drone to do it, so I'm going to play that video right now. There's about 10 miles or so in between Minneapolis and St. Paul. And where my drone is about 25 miles north of Minneapolis. So that's what the buildings look like from 25 miles away. So when we zoom back out and we see our 10 miles, and if we add up just on the screen here from left to right, it's about 100 miles. But that's at that 25 mile distance that it's about 10 miles. And we can see beyond some of that. So when we see our 10 miles from here to here, when we zoom out, it's about 100 miles. Now, one could argue that it could be far more than 100 miles left to right. But we have actual physical objects giving us approximate distances about 25 miles away. So at about 25 miles away from left to right, there's about 100 miles on the screen here. So in 100 miles, there is about 666 feet of curvature. The tallest building in the Minneapolis skyline is 770 feet. That's the IDS tower. So this red line should be curved up to the top of the IDS tower. So what I was pointing out there is, and again, you can't really prove anything with land, because what if that was a big kind of part of a mountain or a hill or a rolling hill or something. So we can't do it. We can't really prove anything on the land as far as the shape of the ground, because we know the shape of the ground on the land. There's mountains, valleys, and hills, all these kinds of shapes. You know, like I was thinking about that the other day. When I'll just tell you the whole story. I hear people, because I bring this up sometimes. I bring up Isaiah 40 verses 3 through 5, and then Luke chapter 3 verses 5 or 4 through 6. Because there's other places in other apocryphal books where it says the same thing. But it says every mountain, or I'm sorry, it says every valley shall be exalted, and every mountain and hill shall be made low, and the crooked will be made straight, and rough places plain. And the excuse me, and the glory of God, or the glory of the Lord, or whatever, shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together, or something like that. So that, what is that talking about? People are like, oh, that's talking about this and this, and they give an interpretation. But I'm like, no, that's not what it's talking about at all. It's talking about this thing that we're talking about. That's what it's talking about. And I was thinking about Luke 3. It says basically the same thing, but then it says, and all flesh shall see the salvation of God. So flat Earth is important, guys. But people often say to me, "You're taking it out of context. Those verses, you're taking those out of context by saying they're talking about the Earth." And I'm like, that's all they're talking about. That's specifically what they're talking about. Because what are mountains? Mountains are literally the only really difference between not a mountain and a mountain is just think about what your feet have to do if you're walking and you come up to a mountain. Now what do your feet have to do? The ground changes its shape and you're starting to walk upward toward the sky. And then when you get over the mountain, you're walking back down toward the ground you were on. That's what a mountain is. And a valley. What's a valley, you know? People ignore the actual words that are in the Bible and they come up with this, oh, no, that's talking about the proud people will be brought low, and like they make all this stuff up, and I'm like, that's not what it's talking about. It's talking about literally the valleys being filled and the mountains. You know what? I wonder if I have that video. I'm going to try to find that. I did a video one time. I think I have it. I got to find it. I totally forgot about this video. I think I called it, it's a trigger title, Flat Earth is Salvation or something. People don't like hearing that. They're like, Flat Earth isn't salvation. Well, that's not what Luke chapter 3 says. Like, I'd go to the whatever, the Bible gateway or something to read them, but I want to find this video. It's one that I actually forgot about, and I know I have it somewhere. I think I do. Because it's just important. I actually took I got a shovel and I went outside and I read those verses, and I did what I made a little miniature version with dirt. I played in the dirt and read those verses to show how simple what they were saying. I wish I knew where that video is. You know what? I can go to my, let me do a search here on my channel, see if I can't find it, and I'll try to just come up with it quick, because I really want to watch it. I'm sure I got it on my computer here, but I have no idea where I would have it, because I'm always looking through these videos and I haven't seen it. I'm working on this here in multitasking. Sorry, guys. Yeah, I don't remember. Okay, I'm searching across my channel. Yeah, I found it. It's the salvation of God. That's what the title was. All right, let's watch this. Let me whoops. Cancel on the program. We're going over to the desktop. All right, you guys should see my desktop now. It's 7 minutes, but like, this is really important, because the science part is important, but this is maybe why it's important. What does the Bible actually say? People that have always given us their idea of what it says or what it means, I mean. Well, get your own meaning out of it by reading the words, because I got meaning out of this. And check this out. Let's watch this. Sorry, my computer's very slow when I'm running all this stuff. Plus the quality won't be there yet. Not important though. Whoops. Got my shovel with. Making a video here that I thought of making because of a lack of understanding that I'm seeing, just in simple words, comprehension of simple words. So I'm gonna dig a hole. Hey, Bobby. That's my cat, Bobby. He doesn't have a tail. He got too close to one of these one time. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so I'm gonna dig a hole and just watch me dig a hole for a minute. Actually, I'm gonna pause this. John the Baptist quoted Isaiah when they asked who he was, and he said, the voice of one that crieth in the wilderness, prepare ye the way of the Lord. Make straight a desert, or in the desert a highway for our God. And then that's repeated in the Gospels and in Luke, and in John, and I'm not sure, but in Isaiah 40 verse 3 is what John the Baptist quoted, and I think he quoted more, because in Luke it continues on with verse 4 and 5, but in Luke it's actually 3 verses 4, 5, and 6 instead of in Isaiah they're 3, 4, and 5. So I'll just go back to Isaiah verse 40. Isaiah 40 verse 4 says, every valley shall be lifted or exalted, and every mountain and hill made low, and the crooked will be made straight, and rough places will be made plain, and the glory of the Lord shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together. Something like that. I'm not reading it, that's a paraphrase, or pretty close though. So here's what I want to demonstrate for you guys. Okay, there's the hole I dug. Let's get a good close-up of it. Okay, on the right side, we have a, you know what, I need to get this camera lower. I gotta take it off of here, just so you guys can't even hardly see my mountain. I should have dug a bigger hole. Okay, we have mountain on the left and valley on the right. Okay, hi Bobby. Okay, I'm putting this back on the stand, so it's gonna be a little bit higher. Maybe down. See, that's what happens when I plan to make a video. I kind of just wing it. Okay, this is like a valley. You drive your car down in there or whatever and come back out. Drive right back out. Same thing with the mountain. Drive your car right up the side of the mountain, or you can climb the mountain, or you can ski down the mountain if there's snow. Okay, we all know what that is. So let's go to Luke chapter 3. It says the same thing as Isaiah, so let's just listen to what that says. I should have brought my Bible out, but it's the same verse. Every valley shall be exalted. Exalted means lifted. So if we're going to lift this valley up to about there, they'll be filled. The valleys will be filled, actually, I think is what it says in Luke. And the mountains and the hills, let's just make a hill. Okay, there's our hill right there. Okay, the mountain, every mountain and hill will be made low. Well, I'm just gonna do the convenient thing here because it's only convenient, but if we fill that valley, at the same time we're actually we're multitasking. We're filling the valley and we're making the mountain and the hill, the mountains and the hills, every mountain and hill low, right? Filling my hole here, filling that valley, exalt that valley. I'm not trying to blaspheme God here, okay? That's not the point. I'm only trying to demonstrate what it would be, what we would be left with if we, okay, so we got the mountains are low, and now the valley is filled in. What are we left with, guys? Because this is what we're left with right here. Luke says, the Gospel of Luke says, it's the salvation of God. And Isaiah said, it is the glory of God being revealed. And all flesh shall see it together. Not a grave. It just makes me think of a grave because I just dug a hole. But I hope that You guys, this was the mouth of the Lord that spoke this. Sorry, you're riding back with me. I got you on a goofy thing. I'll try to get you pointed. Okay, hopefully you can see me now. Oh. The mouth of the Lord had spoken it, not me. I just dug a hole to show you what it meant, or what it said, because words have meanings. Simple words have even simple meanings. So, I think it says not to add anything to the prophecies in the book. That would be a prophecy in the book when the Lord says every valley shall be exalted, every mountain and hill shall be made low, the crooked will be made straight, and rough places made smooth, and the glory of the Lord shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together, for the mouth of the Lord hath spoken it. Alrighty. Yeah. I haven't watched that for a long time. It's so clear in there. Like, you know, I'm not saying that. Sorry about that. I'm not saying that the earth itself or something is anything about salvation, but my experience and a lot of the people I know is that when they started looking into this subject with an open heart for the truth, most of them, I guess I've met tons of people who have had a great change happen once they did that. They met God. They know Him. And this is in the scriptures too. They will know and believe that I am He. So I think this happens when you seek the truth on this topic, because it brings you to a place. There's a saying, I guess, that's pretty accurate, I suppose. No flat earther is an atheist, or whatever. Every flat earther knows who and where God is. How can I say that? I don't even know. But ask a flat earther. Most of them say, that's how I met Jesus. Let me, I know this has kind of changed direction real quick, but I want to read something. I want to read 1 Peter chapter 1. Or just some verses out of it. There's a misunderstanding that I was taught at church, and that's widely just kind of thrown around, and I've learned it from Peter that it isn't true about salvation and what it is, when it comes, and also the grace of God, what that is and when it comes. Check this out. I'm not going to read the whole chapter, but I just point out the verses and you guys can read the chapter on your own. Verse 4 says, to an inheritance incorruptible and undefiled, that fadeth not away, reserved in heaven for you, who are kept by the power of God through faith unto salvation, ready to be revealed in the last time. See that? When does salvation happen? When is it revealed? It's in the last time. And it says, wherein ye greatly rejoice, though now for a season, if ye need be, ye are in heaviness through manifold temptations. But verse 10, look at this. Of which salvation the prophets have inquired and searched diligently, who prophesied of the grace that should come unto you, searching what manner of time the Spirit of Christ which was in them did signify, when it testified beforehand the sufferings of Christ and the glory that should follow, unto whom it was revealed that not unto themselves, but unto us they did minister the things which are now reported unto you by them that have preached the gospel unto you with the Holy Ghost sent down from heaven, which things the angels desire to look into. Listen what it says concerning when this all happens. Wherefore gird up the loins of your mind, be sober, and hope to the end for the grace that is to be brought unto you at the revelation of Jesus Christ. I think there's a ton of flat earthers that say that Jesus Christ revealed his true creation, and that through all this, through this conversation, yeah, the Book of Enoch is great, Belle. Totally. And then it says, or I guess that was basically it. The grace is to be brought unto you at the revelation of Jesus Christ. To me, that means that he's going to reveal something, and it's obviously his grace that he's. I don't know how I'm trying to word that. It's by his grace that he's revealing something to us. So I think it's just such an important thing. We're at the end of the age. So I do have one more flat, it's a very similar concept of the flat Earth curvature thing that we were talking about. I know I got off onto a side thing, but I had to. I just think it's so important that people understand that Jesus is uttering his voice. He's sent his Spirit down. He sent a message, a gospel down from heaven. And we know that because of it's fulfilling all the scriptures. The things that Jesus said that we'd bear witness. That the truth would be made manifest. Lots of things coming to pass, guys. And they all kind of go right by people somehow. Satan is tricky. He's got so many people that love Jesus wrapped around his finger. And they're like, there's no way out because they're on a spinny ball. You just got to look, guys. You just got to go. Like, let me play this video. Whoops. Device. Video. This one is Chicago. From the other side of the lake, There's a picture I think Joshua Nowicki took. And you've seen the picture, I'm sure. But I do something. I do some CGI editing, whatever you want to call it, with the picture to make a point of the same point that I'm making about the paper towel roll idea. If boats go over, if they disappear 3 miles, start disappearing 3 miles from a 6-foot observer, then Earth is flat, and that's an optical illusion from the water and from looking over a flat surface. Check this out. So I'm going to back up here just so you can see it again where we are. So there's Chicago, Shed Aquarium, to the what was that called, photography point, peninsula or whatever. 4.21 miles. So from left to right in this picture, it's approximately 5 miles. Doesn't really matter. So what I did was I edited and I kind of made it wider, and I did it again. There's 3 cities there now, but you get the point. What I'm trying to do is zoom out, because if you zoom out, you got to realize the angular size of this city from the other side of the lake. It's like the size of a pin. So it has to, you have to magnify it. So as you zoom out, we have our 4 miles in the center. There are 5 miles, and then you can keep adding that up, and this is even, we wouldn't even be able to see this with our eyes from the other side of the lake. So what I'm saying is, from left to right, there's many miles that are visible, and it's a perfectly straight line. So I wanted to figure out why videos like this can happen, why people see boats disappearing from the bottom side up. So I set my camera up on a road that is very flat, very long, very straight. And I'm going to show you the footage of me walking about a 1/4 mile away from my camera and then walking back towards it. First, I'm going to show you zooming out from what we're going to be looking at. Picture the Chicago skyline from across the lake being that car, and just watch as we zoom out how small that gets. So remember our 5 miles left to right. How many miles do you think we can actually see of the shoreline left to right with our own eyes as we zoom out? So I'm going to walk away from the camera 8 times faster than I really did, and we will just watch. Notice as I walk away how I'm shrinking and how my head appears to be going downward. Notice the reflection, and then notice the bottom of my feet not really visible. Probably up to my knees almost, or my waist. Okay, now I turned around and I'm coming back. So since it's clear, observable, and undebatable that we do get a straight line left to right, unlike this red line on your screen, images like this, or this, or this, or this, or videos like this are not happening because of any kind of curvature. They're happening because the ocean has waves and swell, and there's a lot of water in the air. Water is always level and flat at its surface when contained.